Cool. So a lot of things I piled up. So this is the live session. So that means I will do everything live. If it is failing, it will fail. So no pre-coded thing. And I'm still a learner. Apologize if I do any mistake. And I'll come back to this. Now you guys have already boarded a express train. You need to fasten your seatbelt. So we'll see what is Playwright, the supported languages, supported browser, test runners, and writing tests. How do you run the test, capturing the screenshots, debugging test, and test generation, trace viewers. So everything is live. And this is my GitHub repo. This is my GitHub repo. This is this one. And the session's code will be here. I'll push it once we complete because that's where we are writing the live code, isn't it? So that will be pushed here. So at least you can see the demo script is there. OK, so this script is there, the session code, and what are we going to do? So without any further delay, let's speak about this Playwright. So it's a fastest testing tool end to end. So we would have heard about a lot of testing tools which enables us to write end to end, and there might be one or two features which were missing. And Playwright is a guy who entered, and it's pretty good, pretty fast, and it has got a lot of features. So the thing is that any platform, any browser, that means the cross browser. The first thing is once you write a single page, your manager or someone will come and say that, hey, is it being supported in Firefox or only Edge or Chromium, or what is the browser it supports? So we have to put it as part of our release bulletin, like what is that we're going to support? And cross-platform, Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and locally, and CI, headless, headed. And the languages perspective, it's a lot of languages at this point of time. They'll definitely come more in future, but as of now, you can see Java, Python, Node.js, and .NET. And the Google Chrome for Android or mobile Safari, it's the same. So one thing is auto wait. That means if we write some of the test cases, we'll see that if that label is the one which it has to come, so it will wait for that. Oh, OK, the label has to come. So first thing is I need to wait until the label. So there'll be some default time, milliseconds or seconds, and it waits for that, and then it blows off. But it's a good thing. So this one is the one which we need to cover, full isolation, fast execution. So Playwright creates a browser context for each test. So the browser context is equivalent to branded browser profile. So creating new browser context takes a handful of milliseconds. Like you have 7 to 8 tests. So you can run in parallel or you can run one by one. And within that one test case, you can have multiple tests. We'll see that. The subsidiary is there. So you might hear his voice more than mine for just a couple of seconds. Powerful tooling, you have inspector, trace viewers, and codegen. We'll see one by one. So I think that's the only theory which we are going to cover. So it's at a high level, what is Playwright? Supported language process. That's it. Now let's start. So here is my, that's already done. We'll see that. That's for one other scenario. I kept it aside. And this is the one which I'm going to check into the code. Here itself, we are going to write it. So once everything is done after the session, I'll check in this one. So what we will do is we will see this a simple hello world Blazor app, nothing fancy in this one. Just it is .NET 7. So we'll click on this and we'll just go and play around with this one. That was one menu, and we see it's pretty clean. And I go to counter. And let's come to this one in the network tab. Let's come to this network tab and let me click on that. And if it is a Blazor WASM, the only thing you will see a network traffic when we come to fetch data. So rest of the things all are here. So if I come in and I did the wrong. God, I'm sorry. I need to connect. Just give me 1 minute. I'll connect it back to the Bastion. I thought that I'm refreshing my browser. I clicked on a wrong refresh button. Okay, I'm back in this one. So only when it is fetch, that's when it brings in all the content. Okay, so rest of the things we can see this, it's getting downloaded. And if time permits, we'll create one Blazor WASM and see that how a lot of things, including the C# DLLs, which gets downloaded. Okay, so one more small tip I would like to give before we jump in. Right. Blazor. Okay, that's the 3 hosting models. Now, looking for Microsoft. One second. Web API .7. That's Microsoft. This one. And if we come to web apps and here in Blazor, let's see this thing real quick. A pictorial representation is very much needed. Now, if you see that the different hosting models, we are working in Blazor server. That means all the code gets executed on the server. Okay, the Razor components and the .NET. There's a signaler between the browser and the server, which makes the things faster. And another hosting model is Blazor WebAssembly. That means you see that there's nothing getting executed on the server. Everything gets downloaded to the client machine or the laptop, and it gets executed inside the browser WebAssembly. And another model is the hybrid model where the mobile devices as well as the desktop. So at this point of time, we are focusing on this. If time permits, at least we'll see the creation of this. That's about the theory. So this is the Blazor 7 just I saved 2 minutes of our time creating this template. Right. So now, how do you create the Playwright tests? So let's go to the documentation, the .NET documentation, and click on Getting Started. So the installation. So you can use the NUnit or the MS test, and it supports XUnit support is also there, but um, it has got this issue like do not support running parallel test. Okay, so some of the limitations are there, but that will be overcome in shortly. They definitely do that. And and if you Google it, the comparison of end-to-end test cases, as of now, Playwright is one of the toughest competitor to any other end-to-end unit test case, and it has gone up in the usage because of a lot of benefits, like it supports different browsers. Okay, Chromium based, WebKit and Firefox, and it supports cross-platform and different browsers and headless and head mode, including the CI/CD integration. So without any further delay, what we will do is we'll start creating that in unit. We'll be executing in both the places. We'll be executing this in Visual Studio 2022. I just wanted to show some things over there, and as well as we will be executing it in the uh, on from this side of the world also, the Visual Studio Code also. We'll see a couple of things. We'll do it from there. A couple of things we'll do it from here. Mix and match. So is that we will be learning. Let me close all the browsers. This is not needed, and this is also not needed. This I want to show it how it works if it is the Azure AD integration. So that for that scenario, I just kept it. I already pre-coded that. Rest we will see things in live. So we'll go step by step. First, we need to create a unit test cases for the NUnit test cases for this one. Let's go step by step. So let's take this name and we'll create a NUnit test cases. New project and NUnit test project. And that's the project name .s. And let's click on next and we'll go with .NET 7. This is the first time I'm working in .NET 7 and unit test cases. So if it is failing, it's because of my lack of knowledge on .NET 7. Okay, cool. So we have a unit test which we have created. Okay, so the first thing what we will call it as, let's do the index page or the landing page. Okay, let's call it as index page test. Okay, let's call this as an index page test. And after doing that, we need to have this package. Let's go quickly to the dependencies. Oh, God. Come on. Let's go to this. What is that? Network connection is blipping. Why? Okay, let's take this in test case and install. For some reason, I'm seeing that there's a network blip. I'll see that. As of now, it's not troubling. I need to restart the router. I will get disconnected, which I'm not comfortable. So let's go and see. There are some updates. Let me select everything and update it so that we are on the latest packages. For some reason, that's a good thing to do. Always be on the latest and verify that it is not breaking anything. And let's do a quick build over here. And OK, the build is success. And let's start working on our first test case. So how do you create the first test case? So let's come back to the documentation. This documentation is pretty heavy. OK, so you can create the test picture and the parallelize. How do you want the parallel things to go? OK, and running the test cases, you can have a number of these things, but we will take a different approach. I mean, we'll keep this as the Bible and we'll go step by step and implement our own way. OK, and the first thing what I will generally do is I will keep I'll exclude this from the test coverage. How? OK, I don't want these to be considered as part of the test coverage. OK, that's the first thing I would love to do it. And the second thing, what I will generally do is this, just create a landing page variable. We'll create one variable. So even if we um, have UI landing page, so that's the page which we will be using it. And then what we will do is, as it is defined here. OK, as it is defined here, let's go ahead and do this. First, we will do it the way it is given, and then we will start improvising from there. OK, that's the first thing. And I will page dot go to async, await of this one. So I'll make this as async and I'll do await page. OK, it is unable to recognize this. Oh, sorry, that's my mistake. We'll change the name of the class so that it will be easy for us to recognize like what is that we are doing. OK, so now we are here and it should recognize this page object. OK, and go to async. OK, so that's one thing. So it goes there. So what we will do is now I will come back to this one in the package manager console and let's do pwd. I am here. Let me go into Hello Blazor app. and I see that's the place I do .NET run. So it's executing this one. So let it execute, and you can see that now listening on which port? What, it don't support HTTPS port? And let's see what is that HTTPS port it is. Okay, it is 7261. Okay, and after doing that, if I come back over here and come back to this, right mouse click on that, there's two things are disabled. That was a problem which I was facing. So I will come back over here and do a .NET run. Why it is doing this with me? You should listen to this. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I will set this up. Or we can run it from the other side. Let's go and fix this. It's not a big thing. Let's go to the launch settings. And we have the HTTP. Okay, that's the first profile. So we don't want that to be the first profile. Okay, so let's make this as a first profile. Let's execute this again. So it should start with HTTPS. That's where it executes. Okay, because the profile was the HTTP. That's the reason it was executing with that profile. So let's not use that HTTP. So let's come back to this. Okay, we are here. Now we have our test case. The first test case, index page test. I do. This is for copy pasting from Bastion. Okay, I say run test. Now when you run the test, it started the build. It shows a blue icon. That means it is starting. So it has already failed because the URL was this one. My mistake. It was unable to reach it. See how fast it has executed and it has give the results. It's that fast. So let's come back over here and let's rerun this one. So now what is happening is this is being executed in headless mode. That is the reason we are not seeing whether the test has executed. It says that it failed or it is pass, but we don't know why it is failing and why it is passing. So if I come in here in index test, what is that test one? Okay. This is the test one. What it says looks like the playwright. Oh, sorry, that's my mistake. The uh, playwright was just installed or updated. Please run this one to install. So what we have to do is once we add this, the second thing is installation of the playwright. I missed that step. So what we have to do is we added the library. And then what we need to do is we need to, before executing, we need to execute this test case. I forgot to execute this case. OK, so we can go to the bin directory where we have, there will be a PowerShell script that we need to execute to install it. So let's go there. what I will do is I'll come back over here and let's stop this. And let's stop this. And there might be a junior speaker who is my 6 years old son. He might come and appear on the screen. Apologize for that. Uh, so we have the bin here inside this folder. So it's in bin debug. So we can do cd bin and debug. We can go into that and let's do the dir, then cd .NET 7, and let's do dir. And didn't we install that? Playwright library. Yeah, we have installed the Playwright library. Let me build it properly again. Let's build this and let's go and see in this bin directory inside this debug. Inside this, inside the Playwright. Here's that. The Playwright, playwright.ps. So it is inside this one. So we are on the right track on inside the .NET 7. I didn't compile that. That is again my mistake. I do not that. Where is that? Debug.NET 7. Oh, Jesus. I should be in the test project, not in this project. I was looking at the wrong location. That was the reason we were unable to figure it out. And let's do the cd bin and debug and .NET 7. So here you go. We have this. Okay. So I'm saying playwright bin, and then we need to do install over here. Now, the moment you do the PowerShell script, that's going to bring the Playwright installation package, so which will be helping us in writing the end-to-end test cases. That's the second step. We forgot. I mean, I forgot that. I mean, including you people also. It's our collective mistake. Okay, jokes apart. We are installing this. Okay, that's done. And once that is done, the next thing is we can directly run the test case. Let's see that. Are we able to run it now? Run the test case. Let me close this. And it is running here. Connection refused. Oh, I stopped it, isn't it? Coming back to this. I'm saying .NET run. I'm executing this main application should be there because that's what we have given, and this is where it goes. Now let's come in here. We are using this landing page at the top so that it will help us. Now run the test. So we need to have the page executed. It turned green. Now we are executing it here and it turned green without even we knowing that it executed, but it executed. So we can come back to this one and see that the test one, it executed, everything is good. So the next thing what we can do is, how do we know that things are working fine? So what we can do is, we can capture the screen print. So this is what I'm doing now. I'll come back to this one and I will add one thing. So UI landing page, the first screen print. So rightmost click, and again, I'll run this test. So, hey, we don't believe that whether the test case is being run or not, you're doing some kind of abracadabra. So no, it's not. It is executing. How do we know that? Let's go and check it. So let's come back to this Playwright demo. Let's go here and under the test, under the bin, if you scroll to the bottom, you see that the landing page. You saw that? The landing page is here. So that means that will be an additional proof that our test case has been passed. That means if we are going to the landing page, all we expect that the landing page should be there. That we saw that first thing is installation. We created an NUnit test case and we added a package and we need to build it first. And then we need to execute the PowerShell script, ask it to install. And once it installs, we can start writing the test. We wrote the test. We will come back to all these things. OK, and assertions and locators and test isolations. We'll see test isolations. With this, we have created setup and tear down. We created that. Locators and assertions, we will see that. We will be definitely doing it. And we saw that running the test cases, we can do it in multiple ways. One way is to using the Visual Studio 2022. That's what we have seen it. And we will see the other way. How can you execute it from the Visual Studio code also. So let me reveal this so that it will be easy for us to come and verify these images. So let me come back to the Visual Studio code and let me minimize this. OK. So we are here in this test and DAR and CD source, CD. I'm getting into the test project. I'm coming into the test project. Now here we can say .NET test. The moment you click on .NET test, this is if you're using the Visual Studio code, and Visual Studio you have it, but Visual Studio code also you can execute, and it clearly says that it has executed the test case and one is passed. Hey, where is that you are executing and how it is passing? I have really no clue. So let's fix that first. So right now this is getting executed in the headless mode. Now what we can do is we can change this code little bit. Come back to this one. And I will go here. And what I'm telling is create an await, Playwright Chromium, launch, and we're saying headless is false. And at this point of time, dev tools also I will make it false. And we are creating the page. And this will be the page which we have created using this. Technically, it is creating the page object itself. When you do the browser.new page async, technically it is creating the page object itself. And then I have to change it back to this one. OK, so let's go and see, because this at this point of time, I'm not getting a decent amount of help there. So I'm coming here. I just want to ensure that everything is rebuilding properly. So let's build this real quick and execute this. Wow, that's what I was expecting. Oh, I'm sorry, because this is executing here, isn't it? So we need to stop that before we do a full build. Let's do it. OK, build is succeeded. Now let's come back and execute this guy again. .NET run. And this time we can go back here. OK, this time I'm coming back here and I'm telling .NET test. Observe that there will be a flickering. Just for a fraction of a second, you'll see a Chromium browser here, and then that vanishes pretty quick. At this portion, please observe. This is a Chromium browser. You saw that just for a fraction of a second, a Chromium browser that appears there, and then it goes here. Just observe here. I'll just move my mouse. There you go. So it appeared for that. I can make this longer. So 150 milliseconds. Let's make 1.5 seconds. Let's come and execute that. See that for 1.5 seconds it's there, but we don't need that much because things are working good. What was that? We kept it 50. Let's keep it to 50. OK. And another thing, what that I want to cover is writing tests. We'll cover these also. I think what is this test runners? I think we already covered the test runners. These two are there. So here itself we'll spend extra time. So I'll come back over here to this one. $pw debug equal to 1. When I execute this, let me switch on the debugger. Now, it's not the correct way to do that. pwd. This is the one which I need to do it. I think env. What is the correct way to do it? So, yeah, this one. That was in this one. I didn't do this. So I need to come here and put this env. $env colon pw debug equal to 1. Okay, am I right? Right. $env. That was missing previously. Now I do .NET test. So when I do a .NET test, what happens is we have given an int to Playwright saying that, hey, I need to debug this. So it comes and stops there. It comes and stops where we put the debugger. So at this point of time, you see that we are not even inside the landing page. Just before that landing page, that's what we switched on the debugger there. OK, so you can see that this is a step over. So let's do a step over. I came to this. And then what we can do is we can execute like this. We can go step over, step by step, step by step, and step by step. OK, so it's done. There's no source code available. We can execute this. The same thing we can do it in Visual Studio 2020 also. So we can switch on the debugger wherever the location you want to do. So now, guys, I'm giving you the things which I learned it in Visual Studio Code as well as Visual Studio 2022. So you can use it out. You can use it at anywhere. Now all you need to do is debug test. Now, if you do a debug test, it comes here. See that? Now you can do F10 and F10. And here, let's do a magic. Let's go to fetch. Let's go to fetch. It's a cheating. it's purely cheating. Now I do continue. Now come back to this one. You see that previous image was the home page because that's what we went to the home page and we took the screen print. But here I manually navigated. Is it acceptable? No, it's not acceptable. Then how do I know? How can I click it? Any button. OK, so let's see. God. OK, how can we do a click? OK, that's pretty simple, right? So whatever is the link here, we can do that, or we can figure it out how to do it. So let's do Homa. Let's do that using the code gen. How do you do the code gen? So I will show you that one. So there are multiple ways. So you can do code gen from the command line here itself, like you do Playwright code gen. So the moment you do it, it comes and it starts the recording. But if you see here, God, this is troubling me seriously today. I don't know why. Maybe my network connection is so bad. I don't know. I can see that here we are not seeing the another window which we have seen in the Visual Studio Code. So that is this will help us to do a tracing, and you're not seeing the inspect window also by default. OK, we'll come to that step by step. OK, I will stop this here. Let's go back to this Visual Studio Code. And we will tell that to go and do a .NET test. See that it is coming here. It's coming here and it is stopping. Let me bring it one step. Now what I can do is there is something known as explore. So these are the steps which we already execute. Here is the one explore. I can select that explore and go and click on this fetch data. So you can see that. How is that? It's recognizing that. So if you write this, so you will get that. OK, what if I do record? Now this itself is becoming a code gen. OK, this itself will become the code gen. And here, here you can see that here itself in this, I will place the cursor over here and we started recording. Now you see this, the moment I click this, it has wrote some piece of code which will help us go navigate. So what we will do is we'll copy this. OK, we'll copy this and we will stop the recording. OK, I copy this one. And all we need is just this much of code, isn't it? I'll just copy it literally from here. I don't need to bring anything. Oh, Jesus. OK, I just did a copy of that. Let's come back to this one. Now I'll close it. I'll close this window also and ensure that we are down there. OK, that's cool. Now let's come back here. Now, after navigating to that page, the landing page, let's take the screen print of the landing page. And then OK. After that, if you see here, we are already creating the browser, Playwright browser, and await the Playwright browser, and we are giving the launch options, the multiple ways to do the things. So we are doing this way. OK, we're saying context. So I will remove that. We're already doing it. Now what I'm telling is, hey, now go and click this link which says that fetch data. And then take a second print. It's not a landing page, it is fetch data. Fetch data page. OK, now let's do this. Let's execute it. If it is not working, then we'll debug. I'll be switching between these two tools. So see that how fast it captured. Now we should see two screen prints here. So there's one screen print for the landing page. Let's come and see that it is the landing page. We are not cheating ourselves. OK, that's the first one. And the next one is fetch data. See that we are clicking on the fetch data. Now, assume that there is an API call. It has to verify that it has got weather forecast heading. OK, it should have that weather forecast heading. No worries. No worries. What we'll do is we'll come back over here. And right now, the debug is true. Now do a .NET test. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's here. Oh, anyways, we are in full control, isn't it? It's F10. We came here and we took the screen print of that. And see that it shows the red mark. I do that. I take the screen print. Oh, shit. I should have stopped there. It's not a crime. We'll redo that. It's not a crime. We will redo that. Let's go to the landing page. Let's screen print. Let's click on that button. And now multiple ways, as I told, you can click on this and come and select it. So once you select, what will happen is that itself is giving you get by role heading. This should exist. OK, now if we are still in doubt, I'll just copy this. Still, after that, let's take the here. I will put it and we can do await page dot. So that means we are saying that there are multiple things like wait for some of the things which we want to. We can put it like a locator. OK, fill async is to add something. We'll see this one. Now, if you want to locate something, locate and wait for that. OK, so let's see that. Let's captured it. We captured that. Now, where are we? OK, so now what I will do is I'll come back over here. I'll click on record and I'll tell that to record it. So it recorded. So we are saying that this is the one which we are calling it. So let me come back to this one and go stop it. OK, let's come back to this one. What is that which is missing? Wait. OK, that means we are clicking that. OK, or else what we can do is we can come and we can wait for using the locator, as I was showing in my previous demo where I was trying with the Azure AD integration. So in that case, it was like locator and the placeholder. OK, we'll see that demo in couple of minutes from now. So what we will do is, why is that it blowing up? OK, cool, it's there. Now I'm again coming back here. I'm again coming back here and let me put the debugger here in this line. So if at all there's a debugger previously, I'll remove that. Right mouse click on that and debug test. See that? So it came and it is there. OK, now I click on continue. So that means it will ensure that it is clicking it and it is going. And another thing what we can do is dev tools. Now, if you want dev tools while you are debugging something, what we can do is we can use the dev tools. That means when you either execute it or either you run or either you debug. In that case, it will have that piece of one second. So you can create the locators here. Now I can go in here And how do I locate this? That creates a locator, and I can do that. What is the selector? I can copy the selector and I can do that. That's one way to do it. Okay. And another way to do it is, I really liked this one. So that was part of. Oh, this is the one which I was speaking about, auto awaiters. So it waits until we do it and debugging the selector. This is the one which I really liked it. So previously when we did that, PW debug to 1. And let's do this and let's see the magic. I really like this concept. Let me come back to this. Now, what is happening to my box today? $EN PW debug. Okay. PW. Okay, console in double quotes. Okay. Again, we execute this .NET test. Why didn't it stop? Let's move it now to 5,000. Maybe something else is there. Maybe the command line switch might have changed it. So as I was mentioning, this is the first time I'm working in .NET 7. Let's see this. When we go to the console of this. Okay, now let's select this. It's not at all opening it at all. It's not making sense. Let's switch it back to 1. Let's switch it back to 1. Now it's coming. See that? Now this is coming. Now let's do an F10. And we are here. And if I go and technically, the one which we are seeing here, it should show us this over here, but it has to display here also. But I am really. Oh, okay. So I need to point of cause and then do like this. Let's see that. Let's try this and playwright object itself. It's there. So let's see. They are. Oh, okay. This is the one which I need to do it. The playwright object. Okay, now I understood. Come in here. Or saying that there's a one. Copy this. Let me come back here, paste it, and copy here, and I'll remove that. And we can see that if at all it's not working, then we will see what it is printing there. Hello? See that? It's able to locate it. I mean, we can write those scripting to find out whether it is able to do it or not. So that's the new thing, which technically I have also learned this morning. And the final thing is, suppose if, oh, I can stop this, isn't it? And it's not only like locating this, taking the screen print, debugging, and finding the elements, record, and then come and customize. We did all those things. And apart from that final thing which I would like to showcase in today is, the thing is, this is done in .NET 6. That's the only difference. This is in .NET 6. And the one which we did it today was in .NET 7. That's one difference. Nothing else. This is in .NET 7. And this I have did an integration with Azure AD. So I'll come. I'll close. I will come back to package manager console because we need to execute it. For some reason, it's troubling me to the core today. I'm not sure why. See that? Parent demo. .NET run. Let's run this. Okay. Now that we ran it, now if I navigate to this one, that's another URL, the one which I did it in .NET 6. So I'm here. It shows my name and all those things up there. Now, how do you debug this? Let's do this. My previous learnings, which I was doing a couple of months ago. Now, you see that I put a debugger over here. Then come to the terminal. This will be interesting. $env pw debug. This one. .NET test. When I do a .NET test, so it comes and so that's there. I do an F10. So it's going to the Azure AD or any authentication. Now it says that email, comma, phone number, comma, Skype. I'm saying that, OK, locate this and then click. That means it clicked it. So you see the red dot there. And now the next step, it says that locate that element and fill. OK, it filled it. Now the next thing is it's pretty simple. If you want to click it, click on record. I don't know how to write it. Now come here and just click on the next button. Now that's writing and giving it to you. It says that, oh, OK, locate this button, which is called next, and click on async. Boom. And we can add that one line also because that one line was not there previously. So I will close this and also I'll close it here and let's do that real quick. I'll come back to here in the homepage test. OK, next is send the notification on my mobile. Let's see how much percentage success will get it. OK, so we wrote it. Now let's come back to this one and do a .NET test. Let's do this. It's coming to this page. It clicks the text box. It pre-fills my email. Next element, it shows that. What is that we are doing? Red color button. Click on next. It goes. It comes here. Now it says send notification. Now it's giving notification on my phone. That's 86. And I click on 86 and approve the login. I mean, this I didn't expect, but I'm into my page, which is Azure AD integrated. I'm seeing that. How wonderful it is. I really liked it. So did quite a few experiments in this one. So let's quickly recap what are the things which we did today. We 30,000 foot high. We saw that what Playwright is. We created a hello world of Blazor application in .NET 7. And then we created a .NET 7 N unit test case project. And then we have installed the package. And then after installing the package, we have to build it. So that's where it creates the PowerShell script. And we go and install. It installs all the browsers and other things which are very much needed to execute it. And we saw that how to write our first test case and how to make it headed or headless and how to add the delay or the slow motion in milliseconds. And then we learned how do we debug. We learned how do you execute it in Visual Studio 2022? How do execute in Visual Studio Code. And then we learn how do you locate anything in that console, and then how do you record it, and how do you customize. And the final demo was, even when you're using any of the authentication thing, even for that, this is pretty simple. You saw that, isn't it? We click the text box, we added the email, and then click on the next button, then send the notification. Notification came to my mobile, I approved that login, and it's login. Imagine a scenario, we can create a personal account and give it to the automation engine to put it here in the CI/CD pipeline. I was planning to show the CI/CD pipeline. It's almost 2:30, so I don't want to trouble people during their lunch hours. So thanks so much, the organizers, for letting me speak. Back to you.